Is this a creepy child movie?
Sorta.
Is it a creepy doll movie?
Sorta.
Is it at least a movie?
That it is.
All this and more on Gory Storytime.
Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Storytime. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig. And this week we're doing our second, can't really call them horror movies. So we're calling them family Halloween movies. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't a creepy factor to
These movies.
some of them. Not all of them necessarily, but like this one definitely.
And there definitely was about last week's, too.
I mean, we were just told by one of the people that works here at the studio when he
That
saw this, it
as a
creeped
child,
him out.
it
As a
creeped him
child,
out, yeah.
absolutely. So, for those who haven't seen it, we're reviewing Coraline, based on a Neil Gaiman novel.
Indeed.
And basically, this little girl doesn't like where she's staying. She's feeling lonely. Her parents are kind of ignoring her because they're so busy with their lives.
Oh, they're poor, by the way.
And she discovers a door that brings her to the same house with her parents, but they're slightly different. They're much
Yes.
more pleasant,
Sometimes.
or are they? Without
Dun,
giving
dun,
everything,
dun.
without
Right.
giving anything away for the two people on the planet that
Who haven't
would
seen this that want to.
right. And like if you grew up and this was if this was something that you missed out on, definitely you should see it.
Yes.
We try not to give too many spoilers, but like sometimes it happens just in conversation. So,
And on the off chance that we spoil something in this movie, it is over a decade old long kids movie,
so
basically.
all right. But before we tell you a lot of behind the scenes information about this movie,
Indeed.
what we need to do is get paid. See, every week.
But before we get paid,
Oh, yeah.
like we do every other week of this
Don't
show,
mind me. I'm
we show
doing it
you
wrong.
the trailer.
Yes, do that first.
Coraline Jones always dreamed of finding a better world. A world more exciting than this. But never did she imagine that she'd discover it in her own home. A parallel place
We've been waiting for you, Coraline.
where parents are always fun
I love your garden! Can't believe you did this!
and everything is so good
What's shaking, baby?
it just can't be real.
Mom?
You're just in time for supper, dear.
You're not my mother. My mother doesn't have... But
Buttons? Do you like them? I'm your other mother, silly.
You probably think this world is a dream come true,
my name!
but you're wrong.
You do like it here, don't you, Coraline? You could stay here forever. There's one tiny little thing we need to do. Black is traditional.
She's got this whole world where everything's better, but it's all a trap.
You may come out when you've learned to be a loving daughter.
From Henry Selick, the director of The Nightmare Before Christmas, comes a world of extraordinary imagination. Spooky secrets.
Who are you?
You're in terrible danger, girl.
And daring discoveries.
I still have to find my parents. To set them free?
This year, when adventure comes knocking,
Choo-choo.
there are some doors that should never be opened. Coraline, written for the screen and directed by Henry Selick, presented in Real D 3D.
Well, all right. Now,
For those things that he was doing prior to us doing the things in the correct order.
yes, I'm a little tired, so I was doing things incorrectly. Oops. The two people I know that are going to watch this are going to go,
Yep.
and that's not even us, sadly.
Whatever.
So why would we watch a thing that we're in? We were there when we made it.
Yeah, I already know how this ends.
By the time other people... Never mind. But what we're really here for, unlike the belief of many, is not to review scary, creepy movies, or in this case, family movies that are also creepy. No. It's to sell ourselves for large sums of cash. And the way we do that is by putting our feelers out there to actual companies that really exist, that coincidentally seem to always have something to do with the movies we're watching.
It's weird.
In reviewing. It's weird, yeah. But then we cash big checks and we promote their products right here on the show. This week, Gory Storytime is brought to you by Everything You Needle, the brick and mortar store that supplies all your sewing and other crafting needs. No matter the project, if it's a craft, we got you covered. It may just be your neighbor's grandma's sister's favorite store. Thimbles, thread, buttons, glue, fabrics, wood, paints, canvases, needles, and more. Move over, Michaels, and heck no, Hobby Lobby. We prefer Everything You Needle. Crafty things for crafty people.
All right. And by Alternate Realty. We specialize in selling 2 homes for the price of 1. Our founders discovered a way to travel to a parallel universe that is exactly like ours, but with approximately half as many people as here. We sell houses with literal doors to that universe, and we do so without charging more than our closest competition with only 1 house for you. Alternate Realty, the Portal People.
All right. Now, anything else you want to mention about this prior to getting into the behind-the-scenes stuff?
Not specifically.
Okay. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to?
Sure, I can.
All righty.
The character YB Lovat is not in Neil Gaiman's novel. He was created so Coraline would not have to talk to herself, and so she would have a friend her own age.
Over 130 sets were built across 52 different stages at the studios, spanning 183,000 square feet. The 52 different stages were the most ever deployed for a stop-motion animated feature.
The on-screen snow was made from superglue and baking soda.
There were 24 different puppets of Coraline used in the making of this movie. Each one took 10 individuals and 3 to 4 months to construct.
Wow. Initially, the film was going to be live action, and Dakota Fanning was actually going to physically portray Coraline. When it was decided instead to make a stop-motion animated film, Fanning was asked if she would still be interested in providing Coraline's voice. She said yes, as she thought it would be fun to do, and grew even more excited when she saw what Coraline was going to look like.
At 1 hour and 40 minutes long, it was the longest stop-motion film until Kubo and the Two Strings in 2016, also made by Leica, Laika.
The face on the dollar bill given to the mover for a tip is director Henry Selick.
The leaves in the scene where Coraline is returning to the well were created by spraying popcorn pink and cutting it up into little pieces.
The band that They Might Be Giants wrote 10 songs for the movie, but a change in tone from a musical to a darker production meant that all but 2 were cut. One, when Coraline's other father sings along with the piano, features John Linnell's voice, and the other is during the end credits. The band has said they will release the other songs created for the movie and other projects, including albums.
One crew member was hired specifically to knit miniature sweaters and other clothing for the puppet characters using knitting needles almost as thin as human hair.
All right. Mr. Bobinsky is wearing the Russian Hero Medal for service at the Chernobyl nuclear disaster on April 26, 1986, which reads on the front, participant in the cleanup campaign. The 4A36 indicates...
C, not 6. 4A3C.
Chernobylskaya nuclear power plant.
Chernobylskaya,
yes.
Yeah, whatever.
This medal is unique as it is the only medal in the world awarded for participation in a nuclear cleanup. That might explain the skin complexion and odd behavior.
Neil Gaiman said that out of all film and TV adaptations of his books, Coraline is his favorite.
Coraline.
That's what I meant. I said a real name, sorry.
The first stop-motion animated feature to be entirely in 3D, shot entirely in 3D.
In the initial recording session, Dawn French played the role of Miss Spink and Jennifer Saunders played Miss Forcible. However, director Henry Selick wasn't satisfied with the result, so he had French and Saunders switch roles and re-record their parts. These second recordings were used in the film, which might explain why the characters resemble the actresses who did not provide the voice.
All right. The other mother is always humming one of the soundtrack songs while she cooks.
The film Coraline was shot over the course of 18 months following 2 years of pre-production.
Sounds about right. Near the end of the film, Coraline's father is reenacting the famous facehugger scene from Alien using Coraline's stuffed squid.
The 2 members of the Ranft Bros moving company that moves Coraline's family into their home are named for the brothers Jerome Ranft and Joe Ranft. Both brothers did work on Nightmare Before Christmas with director Henry Selick. The mover at the front door, who was given the $1 tip, is modeled after Joe Ranft.
The model of the father was based on Ted Raimi.
And at one point in the movie, Coraline shows 16 different expressions in a span of 35 seconds.
That must have taken at least a month to do.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, no. I've forgotten again to get this before the show.
I'll give an explanation.
Yes.
We like to give the Rotten Tomatoes scores, and again, for anyone watching for their first time, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't actually rate the movies. When they give a score, what they're doing is they're taking the positive and negative reviews that are out there from professionals, not us, and they give you a percentage of the reviews that are positive. And then... so that's what the number is. It's whatever the percentage of positive reviews are. And then they have an option for the audience to vote, and they give you the percentage of positive likes or whatever for the people. So you go first.
So the critics have this movie at 90%.
And the people have it at 73%. Both are considered good scores, but... it's weird that the people don't like it as much as the critics, considering the critics tend to go harder on creepy things, horror things, comedy things. They're not great fans of children's stuff unless there's some deep message, like politically charged message in it. But whatever.
Yeah. So that's that part.
All right. And now we're going to talk about our favorite and least favorite scenes. What was your least favorite scene in Coraline?
Okay. So there's a play that she's watching in the other version of Home.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this super ugly fat woman with her thing's basically out. And I didn't like that. It wasn't pleasurable for me.
I mean, it was weird considering this was aimed kind of at
Like-
younger folks.
Like, I think she was all but naked.
I mean, not quite, but I mean, it was pretty revealing. And it is odd in a kid's movie.
Not pleasant.
I will say. All right. Well, my least favorite thing or scene or something, I would say, is the idea that, boy, how should I put it? I'm trying to figure out how to word it, because I really like this movie, so I'm kind of
it's pretty good.
nitpicking a little bit. Boy, I guess what I don't like is that, and this is just because I prefer dogs, the cat should have been a talking dog. Just because of my personal preference. Yep, I'm that nitpicky.
Actually, you know what? I would have even believed Keith David?
Yep.
Keith David's voice more from a dog than a cat.
Yeah, see?
So, yeah, that's completely unbelievable.
Because you know what he's not?
Exactly. Exactly. We censored ourselves.
Anyway, what was your favorite scene?
Probably towards the end when she's deciding that she no longer wants to be in the other world, and she's trying to, spoiler alert, escape the monstrous evil creature that is the other mother. Mm-hmm. And she's crawling through the wormhole thing that gets back into the universe. I think it just looks so cool, the way she's being chased by the hand. Mm-hmm. Very awesome.
All right. I would say my favorite part probably, and this is, again, I got to pick out of a lot of good stuff.
Right.
I think it was really cool when, as she was beating that other mom in the game that she had agreed to, the world that was built just to impress her started falling apart, literally, and leaving just white.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty sweet.
Like it wasn't colored in anymore.
Yeah, it was just like...
Very cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
Very, very cool.
All right.
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the equivalent of, someone hauling off and kicking you square between the legs.
Okay.
Or...
So maniac.
Or 10 where... how should I put this in case kids watch this? Because receiving the kind of attention that Ray received in that scene in Ghostbusters.
So Ryan Reynolds telling me that Deadpool 3 is coming out.
Okay, yes.
Yes, that feeling I got. Okay. I'm probably going to give this an 8.
8?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 7.5. Not because it's not really good, but because I don't know, it's a weird juxtaposition to have kids movie and creepy factor, and it's
so much.
I liked it. I liked
both.
It. Yeah, I mean, a friend of mine, her daughter models, and just recently did a model shoot as Coraline and had one of her friends playing the other mother with the, button eyes and everything. I showed you a couple of the pictures, and it was pretty cool. It's definitely worth a watch. Like, I would say, it's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't consider it the same as like A, B, C grades. I would say it's like a solid B, B plus.
Which would be like an 80.
Okay, fine.
So an 8.
Fine. I guess I'm going up to 8.
Look at that.
But I wasn't using it as the same scale, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I am.
Anywho, now what do we do?
Very good. Very good. But over there's words that I read every week.
There are.
No, go look at them. So, you could watch this show on Fact TV channel 1076 Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can also find us on Facebook, and by that I mean find Gory Storytime, and you can always go and find Fact TV, the place where we make Gory Storytime, because they have a lot of cool stuff that local talent comes in and films. There's someone here today that, filmed like a movie. I mean, it was a 45-minute movie. It was a little short, but it was still that was also a creepy thing too. There's people that come in and do other movie reviews that aren't horror necessarily. There's been sports talk. There's been lots of stuff over the years. There's local news stuff. So just definitely, if you're in this area, like them on Facebook. They live stream a lot of really cool stuff.
Indeed. You can also go to fact8.com and watch a bunch of the back episodes of this and many other pieces of information, entertainment.
Yes.
That they have up on their website. There's many other shows with us in them.
That's true. I'm also going to suggest that you check me out on Twitter. I'm at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase.
I am at Jiggly Firmbrain. I only tweet things that I find amusing that he says, either in or out of context, usually out of context.
Because that's usually what's funnier.
Indeed.
And then, check out my YouTube channel. It's Juggalo Jakes. Just look for Gory Storytime. It'll come up with mine and it'll come up with Fact TV's. Just like and subscribe. Help out local entertainment providers.
Us. Help us out.
Yes. Because we're really not making that much money off of those fake real commercials.
We are. Boatloads of cash, but
you can tell by the fact that this is like the 15th time in this last couple of weeks that I've worn this shirt.
Send lots of money to 123 fake address.
Anyway. All right. So that seems about it, right?
Indeed. So until next week with our third of our four, I will be your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig.
And sweet dreams.
I'm recording the opening thing quick.
Just don't make any noise.
Higher learning intro.
Wasn't part of it. I don't know.
No. I'm just doing a little voiceover part. Unless you want to do this last line.
What is that last line?
Come look.
Oh, I thought you changed it.
No.
I thought you said not that one.
I couldn't think of something better off the top of my head, and I said, fuck it. Go with my gut instinct, I guess.
Okay.
Higher Learning is a show about adults learning interesting facts while under the influence of marijuana. This show is filmed in Vermont, where it is legal to smoke. The staff involved in the show want to be clear that we do not support its use by those too young or where it is illegal to partake in such behavior. While this show doesn't show the usage of drugs or use coarse language, it is not intended for children. Parental discretion is advised. Now,
Let's get to the burning and learning. Now let's get to the burning and learning.
Say it like you're actually saying it.
I don't know.
Now, let's get to the burning and learning.
Now let's get to the... I don't understand.
Don't sound like a jackass going, now let's get it. Say it like you're saying it for an intro. Now, let's
Yeah,
get
all right. He could do this. It'll be better that way.
You want me to just start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. Now, let's get to the burning and learning.
That's right. I can close the door. Okay. Back up. Give me a minute. That's better.
I mean, you were just like, now let's get to the burning and learning. I'm like, come on, man.
Your shit keeps making sounds in here. What?
What the hell?
Not okay.
Give me a second, my phone's annoying me. Come on. Now, swipe.
I
Make
knew
sure
I was
that...
going to need this for this episode.
Yep. Ready when you are. Welcome to Higher Learning, the show where I try to come up with 25 facts that my son hopefully hasn't already heard on some topic and try to teach them to him while he's high. He is currently baked.
I'd like to say so.
Then next week I have him come in and I give him a quiz, 25 questions on these 25 facts to see how much of it he actually retains and see if maybe that is what was wrong with him in high school. Maybe he needed to actually
imbibe.
By the way, I'm kidding. Nothing was going to help him.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, so like we said, it's a class in disjointed education. Anyway, this week I'm going to teach him 25 facts about hip hop music.
All right.
Number 1, Sugar Hill Records was the first hip-hop record label in history.
Sugar Hill Records, I'm assuming. Sugar Hill Gang.
Well, they didn't own it. They were put out on it, though, yes.
But that's probably where they got their name then? Or was it vice versa? Like, which one came first?
You're going to confuse yourself with
Yes.
this. So
Okay.
how about just listen
Say
to the
it one more
facts?
time.
Sugar Hill Records was the first hip-hop record label ever.
Cool.
Though many people think that Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang was the first commercially released hip-hop song, it was not. A few months earlier, a song by the Fatback Band called King Tim 3 Personality Jock was released, giving that song the honor.
Huh.
Schoolie D's PSK What Does It Mean was the first gangsta rap record, and it was an homage to the Parkside Killers, a street gang that the Philly rapper was affiliated with at the time.
All right, then.
Eric B. and Rakim were the first hip-hop act to sign a $1 million record deal.
Wow.
Light as a Rock, the album by MC Light, was the first hip-hop album by a female solo rapper.
All right.
Run DMC's Raising Hell was the first rap album to be certified platinum.
Run DMC were the first to go platinum.
Mm-hmm. MC Hammer was the first rapper to have an album go diamond with his Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em LP. That's the one with Can't Touch This, which was like his third album.
Went diamond.
Went diamond. The Notorious B.I.G., Jay-Z, and Busta Rhymes all attended the same high school. Not necessarily at the same time, but still.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. But, all right.
Rex and Effect's 1992 hit Rump Shaker was co-written by Pharrell Williams. As in, like, Because I'm Happy. Yeah, he wrote Rump Shaker.
Huh.
Bone Thugs and Harmony is the only group to have worked with Tupac, Biggie, Eazy-E, and Big Pun before they passed away.
Wow.
Yep. Let's see. Queen Latifah was the first rapper to perform at a Super Bowl halftime show.
Huh.
The Notorious B.I.G. met and became friends with Tupac on the set of Pac's movie Poetic Justice in 1993. Flava in Your Ear by Craig Mack was the first single released by Bad Boy Records.
All right.
Ice Cube's EP, Kill It Will, was the first hip-hop EP to reach platinum status. Biggie rapped over the Dog Pound's New York, New York beat first. The song's producer, DJ Pooh, gave the Brooklyn rapper the instrumental so he could rap on it for a St. Ides malt liquor commercial. Da Brat was the first female solo rapper to go platinum with her debut album, Functified. It's the Brat, tat-tat-tat, busting out on that. Yeah. Here's one. Big Pun kidnapped DJ Who Kid for releasing a Sauce Money song that contained disses against himself, against Big Pun. And he kidnapped him on the same day he shot his part of the Banned from TV music video. After some fast talking and negotiations, Who Kid escaped with his life, but not without learning a lesson or two from the incident.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-huh. Tone Loc's debut album, Loked After Dark, produced the single Wild Thing, which peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 February 1989 and quickly sold 1 million copies, becoming the first rap song, like single, to be certified platinum.
Wow. There's a lot of platinums on this list.
The Florida-based rap group Two Live Crew holds the distinction for releasing the first sound recording to ever be declared in a court of law to be legally obscene. Yep, you knew that one. Causing arrests of its members for performances and even record store owners for even selling the album as nasty as they want to be.
So dumb.
Curtis Blow became the first rapper to be signed by a major label in 1979 when he signed with Mercury
79.
Records.
Wow.
Tupac Shakur was born in East Harlem and originally went by the name of MC New York. Interesting considering he was one of the major players in the 90s East Coast West Coast beef.
MC New York. I'm so glad it didn't stick.
Yeah, he went with his real name, just changed it from Tupac to Pac. Yep.
Which is much better.
DJ Muggs, who's best known as the producer for Cypress Hill, revealed that he initially produced the beat for Jump Around with his group, Cypress Hill, in mind. When they passed, Muggs offered it to Ice Cube, who also passed. And then it became, well,
synonymous.
Like House of Pain.
Like
it's one of the biggest
If I say
songs.
House of Pain, most people are going to think
Jump Around. Of course. Nas was the first New York rapper to collaborate with Dr. Dre. The two artists linked up first on Nas Is Coming off of his album It Was Written. He ended up later starting a group called The Firm with Foxy Brown, and there was another guy, and him on Aftermath Records, and it was a bomb. But that is not the fact I'm giving you. I'm just saying the first time they worked together was on a song called Nas Is Coming. Ice Cube squashed his beef with Eazy-E at a New York City club called The Tunnel, where Funkmaster Flex gained popularity as a DJ.
Yeah.
And the last one, Jay-Z's 99 Problems was inspired by Ice-T and Brother Marquise's song 99 Problems from 1993. Marquise has said that he didn't make any money off of that because he didn't get paid, and that started an issue between him and Ice-T, sadly.
Ow.
Yeah, they were friends.
Yikes.
But those are your 25 facts.
Indeed they are.
And you are definitely high enough for this to be questionable how much you're going to remember. A couple of them you knew anyway, but that happened last time. So next week, we're going to come in when he's completely sober. I'm going to ask him 25 questions. They're going to be worth 4 points apiece. There might be some bonus points available, but let's see if he can actually puff pass.
Or will I puff fail? Puff pass or